Well, look, we'll see what happens with the Elon stuff, but it's Friday night, and I think it's time we get to the more fun story here.
More important. Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, from Newsweek. Joe Biden mocked for apparent teleprompter flub. Repeat the line. Yo, this is amazing. You ready for this one? Let's play it.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without...
You didn't repeat the line.
Quote. Repeat the line. The men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
End of quote. Repeat the line. Here's the funny thing. You ready for this? Newsweek reports he's mocked for an apparent teleprompter flub. End of quote is not the first time he has read that. Okay? And guess who fact-checked it as false? Also Newsweek. Amazing. Fact check. Did Joe Biden accidentally read teleprompter instruction during speech? This is from November 2021, November 24th. False. The phrase end of quote was not a teleprompter instruction accidentally read by Biden. It was part of the speech used to bookend the Walmart CEO's remark, which Biden began citing seconds earlier with the phrase to quote the Walmart CEO. How many people have you ever met who go, and I was talking to this activist who said, quote, I enjoy going to the mall to shop. End of quote.
Sometimes I'll say close quote, but that's the closest
or end quote.
It is end quote. That's
but typically people would just say quote.
That's usually for like an audio book.
Yeah, something really formal.
Yeah.
I think the reality is they put that in there as instructions.
Right.
And repeat the line because they're supposed to pull it back, and then Biden just Ron Burgundy's it.
At the very least, it's not the phrase end of quote that's in contention. It's the phrase repeat the line.
And then
he didn't do it.
And he didn't do it. And a White House staffer said he actually said, "Let me repeat the line."
Oh, he didn't say let
me. They actually tweeted. That's crazy.
That's what they said.
They're gaslighting. And you know why they do that? Because what's going to happen now is the media will say, conservatives accuse Joe Biden of X, White House says Y. And people who don't pay attention to the news will see that story and not the fact that Joe Biden read the prompter like Ron Burgundy.
And that they're trying not to laugh in the background. That's the dead
that was
giveaway.
the best part.
How does Kamala not laugh her ass
Her
off?
face changes.
It does.
Her face changes.
Look at the
It's
guy.
more contempt on her
Look at him.
face.
Yeah, she's like,
Let me pull this one up. Let's make it big.
I want to see Kamala.
It's like cringy.
Look at the guy on the right.
What
He's
is
trying
Kamala-
not to laugh. Look at him.
He's like, I hope he doesn't mess this up.
I think Kamala's just like.
You think she'll write a book like My Time as the VP?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to mention. Do you know who this guy on the right is?
That looks like Rahm Emanuel, maybe?
No, that's not Rahm Emanuel.
He does kind of look like him.
I mean,
face blind.
sort of.
Sure.
The guy on the right is like holding back laughing. Kamala Harris. I can imagine what's going on in their heads. The guy on the right, in his head, he's like, "Don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh." Kamala Harris, in her mind, it's because look at her face. She's just like. When you hear her talk, she just says words.
One of the replies to this was like, she says, he repeated the line because the line was there and he wanted to say it again because he needed to repeat the line. like that's how she talks.
This is why they gave him instructions that said, you do this. You do this because if you don't,
oh right,
he does this
that's great. Yeah, so that remember,
Simon Says game.
Remember that
why
card?
The word "you" is so big on the card,
right?
So he doesn't actually read it.
That explains it. So he had a card and it said, "You stand up, you talk to the press, you ask." Because when you don't put that there, he actually just does exactly verbatim. Yo, this guy is not all with it.
No. Do you think he's on drugs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, you have
but
to.
Uppers, yeah.
This dude's probably on so much meth.
I just saw a video of him from like 4 years ago.
I'm not saying like he's smoking crystal. I'm saying they're giving him
Adderall
and other uppers, other meth derivatives and things like that.
Amphetamine. Those are amphetamines.
Yeah, Adderall's not meth. It's different amphetamines, but some kind of okay. I shouldn't say meth. Some kind of amphetamine. I'll say that.
But it's funnier to say meth.
I mean, I honestly,
it's funnier to think that he's just
like
smoking
like son.
the crystal.
He's got the blue stuff from Walter
crystal.
White.
They was giving him the good stuff during
that
the
good.
debates.
Oh yeah, he
Damn.
They would have him sleep for 20 hours and wake up right before. Then they would give him an IV drip of some real legit upper.
He's just on another planet.
Yeah, dude. His eyes were like, his pupils were dilated. He's like, I can see everything.
Were his eyes bleeding a few times too?
That's
like terrifying. And then pair that with his like Cheshire cat smile.
Yeah, remember when his eye popped on stage?
Yeah, like a blood vessel or something crazy. Was that? You think that was drug induced? Because I've never seen it happen before.
Stress.
Since
well,
stress, maybe just stress.
It can be a lot of things.
But drugs can induce stress as well.
You know what I think it really was? Like, because it had popped before he went out on stage, right?
I'm not
No,
sure.
I think it popped on stage.
You sure?
I think so.
Because I was going to say he was probably making a boom boom and he's an old man.
he's
So he was
smart.
like,
No.
My eyeball.
for real, though. I mean,
Let it happen.
you know.
That's terrible.
You guys watched the new White House?
I'm sorry. Didn't he poo his pants in front of the Pope or something?
That's
That's a story.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that
heard
was the
that.
story, but
Is that confirmed?
That's
fact
not
check.
confirmed.
I'm gonna Google search this.
Let's
It's
fact check
confirmed.
that.
Poop.
I hope
It was
Jesus
weird
says
that
it's
they
confirmed.
wouldn't record that meeting
Poopy
or,
Pants Biden
or
by
live stream
Omar
that
Shabazz.
meeting.
What
Oh,
is
good.
that?
It's a song.
Yeah, that
Yay.
would've been great views.
Okay, here we go, you guys. We got it. Snopes has got the truth.
Okay.
Did Biden poop his pants in Rome? Another president, another pants pooping rumor.
Oh, boy.
False. Well, hold on there a minute.
There was
how-
a
There was a
brown
rumor
streak in
that
his
Trump
drawers,
did the
but-
same.
What the heck?
there was a rumor that Trump hired women of the night to relieve themselves on a bed.
That's a little
I mean,
different.
yeah.
That?
But
Right.
Snopes is funny, like when they do the fact check. It's like, yes, there were traces of feces in his underwear, but it wasn't a full poop,
No.
so therefore
Get
false.
Right, that's what they do.
Like what?
They say an actual rumor is not a fact. Oh, okay.
Oh, that
Actual
explains
rumor.
it.
So look at this. He says there's no evidence of this claim. The claim wasn't derived from photos or Biden. The story was that Joe Biden was apparently having some meeting and then mysteriously went absent for a short amount of time and then came back wearing some other clothes or something. I don't know. And then everyone's like, he pooped his pants. And I'm like, I agree. I don't know if he actually did.
Likely,
remember
though.
the pissy kid used to come to school with an extra pair of pants?
Yeah.
When it's like
Yeah.
in like kindergarten,
Same energy.
Biden needs an extra.
Bro
pair
had
of
to clean
pants.
himself up.
I've been watching the secret. What is her job? The woman, the
Press secretary.
yeah, the press secretary. She
Yeah.
speaks for him. This new girl, and she says a lot. I want to get ahead
But
on
what
this
is her
one.
name?
Bad at her
I don't
job.
know. What?
the new black lady.
Yeah, what's her
Yeah,
name?
she's
I only
super
remember
cute little
redhead.
lady. Yeah.
That was Jen Psaki.
Yeah.
She was insufferable.
Karine.
She just keeps
Karine.
this woman. Karine is her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to point out that she says way too much.
Does she?
Yeah.
She
it's
says
disturbing.
things that just aren't true way too much. And she also says, I don't know way too much. Oh, what about Hunter Biden's laptop? I have no idea. You got to talk to Hunter Biden's
Got
lawyer
to talk to the
about that
White
or
House
whatever.
about that.
It's
But
it's-
Jen
it's very
Psaki would
good.
say, "We're gonna circle back to that."
Right. She
And
was
then
way better. at her
They don't
job.
circle back.
Yeah.
Well, Psaki
Circle
had
back.
more experience. You know, when you're like a well-seasoned communist, like lying's just comes with the
Right.
territory.
Exactly.
Well, it's like when you look into their eyes, you don't see a soul. And it's just they're programmed. They can say whatever they need to with a straight face.
Shark
yeah,
eyes.
Shark
yeah,
eyes.
Yeah. I mean, just the blatant lying that the left conducts is just egregious.
Oh, remember when Jack Posobiec got punched?
Yes.
And then the cops walked up, having witnessed it, and that fat Antifa woman goes, nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's just like those eyes, dude, those evil, lying eyes.
There's not a
They're
trace
not-
that
they're
they're
not-
doubting what they're saying. Like they really are
They-
believing.
No,
it.
you
No,
have
they
to
know
believe
they're
the lie.
lying. She was like smirking like nothing happened. I didn't see anything. And the cops were like, yeah, we witnessed it. We're arresting.
Like lying is good if you're lying against an evil entity like
Yeah.
the Nazis. Where are you hiding the Jews? And you're like, I don't have any Jews in this house, but you are hiding people that you're saving. You're a liar, but you're doing it. So these people probably are
what
justifying
they-
it.
Well,
what
that's
they
what
think.
Saul Alinsky says, right? The ends
Well-
justify the means.
Some people believe all lying is unethical,
Yeah.
regardless of consequences or circumstances.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe Jordan Peterson.
Like, what if, you know, like,
I'd like
what
to
if,
have that
what if,
discussion. with Jordan.
like, what if your kid is like, you know, Mom, am I attractive? What's the mom going to say? Yo, you're ugly. You gotta,
I did that once to my kid, man.
Oh, how was it?
told
It
your
was
kid-
terrible.
Oh my gosh.
He came to me. He said he drew like this picture, and he's a young boy, and he was like 7 or 8 at the time. He said, "Dad, what do you think of this picture?" And I asked him. I said, "Do you want to know the truth of what I think?" And he looked me in the eye. He said, "Yeah, I want to know the truth." I said, "Bro, that shit is ugly."
Oh, man.
And he started breaking down crying. I'm like, I'm such an idiot. I am so stupid. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I was supposed to lie. Duh.
Did you like give him specific
Or-
criticisms like that nose is too big? And
No, after he started crying, I was like, man, I'm just playing, bro. That shit is dope. You know, I
No,
had
but
to
you
make up for
don't
it.
like if it's a little kid and they're trying, you know, you don't got to say that's terrible. You just be like, you're doing really well. You
Yeah,
need
but-
to improve.
But the way he said it was like he wanted constructive feedback, right? Like
It's trash.
Garbage.
I was hanging out with 3 grown adults, and we were having a conversation about grown folk stuff, and I said, can I provide some criticism? And he says, we don't use the word criticism here. It's called constructive feedback. So you know you're definitely dealing with some Democrat liberals.
They have to make it as verbose as possible.
Yeah.
As if it like softens the offense.
So what do you think is the best thing with a kid that wants the truth? Like, are you like, well, I don't like it, but let me tell you why. This line's a little crooked. You could do this a little straighter. You have a lot of good, and then give them a compliment sandwich. Like,
I don't know if kids understand the complexities of that, though.
Yeah, no, you just say, you know what? You're on your way to great art.
Awesome.
You're going to be awesome. This is a great start. You just got to go with that. You know, we're still honest, but it's not saying,
right. You know, or you can mix it up a little bit and be like, you're on your way to being really, really great. You keep working at this, you're going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is you're no Rembrandt.
Right.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So, but you got to keep
that's
working.
pretty hard.
Yeah, that is pretty harsh, but
You're no Rembrandt. No, I'd say it's more of a Manet, not Monet. You're close. And then if your kid actually knows anything about art, they're like, oh,
right.
Cringe.
how dare you?
You're more of a Picasso. You know, Picasso
You're more
stuff
of a
is
Jackson
like really
Pollock.
ugly. Just like you're the next Picasso.
That's what you can do. You can be like, he's a famous artist, you know,
Yeah.
Jackson Pollock, right? So when your son draws trash, you can just be like, well, you know, some people like it.
So the press secretary is treating us like a little kid that she doesn't want to start crying by being like, the economy's in shambles, and we're like, oh. So
Yeah.
she's like, it's great. The economy's fantastic.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You're gonna be fine.
I don't know.
That's what they were lying about. The whole Ukraine. I'm not allowed to say that here on YouTube, but the whole gas, right? Like, gas prices are low because Putin, and it's just like, what? Like,
Gas prices are high because of Putin.
Right. Gas prices are high because of Putin. Right. They're low in Russia, but
Right.
but they lied about that, right? Like, and then they used Brittany Griner as a political pawn and said she's locked up because Putin. It's like, no, she's locked up because she broke a law.
Just stop and think about how amazing this is. Gas prices are skyrocketing. People are complaining about gas prices going up.
Yeah.
Then one day Putin invades Ukraine and Biden goes, oh, those gas prices? It's Putin. And all these
Right.
Democrats go, oh, that explains it. And we're like, dude, that just happened. The price of gas was already up.
Right.
And they're like, no, it's Putin. It's like, okay, man.
Yeah, everybody was looking for the villain. They're like, who's the villain? Who's the villain? Something bad.
But
Who's the
this is-
villain? There's got to be a villain because of this.
This is what I imagine. That fat Antifa woman, when Jack Posobiec got punched and she looks at him, she's like, I didn't see anything. And it's like she got that smirk on her face. Remember when that Strzok guy, whatever his name is,
Peter Strzok.
Peter Strzok,
my
Yes.
and he's
gosh.
testifying. And he does that thing with his eyes and goes, and Christine Blasey Ford does it too.
What?
These people like envision themselves as like GI
Demon-possessed.
Joe villains.
That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
like. It's like you're acting like you're evil, dude.
Do they believe they're on the side of good though?
I don't know. Maybe they think they're villains.
The guy that said that we need to protect the liberal world order, it was pretty much like, I think he thinks he's on the side of good, but that the side of good is the liberal world, is like global military American dominance.
So that means his boss has completely got him conditioned and brainwashed.
Yeah?
He's like literally creme de la creme of the sheep.
But I'm wondering these days, like, you know, the liberal world order, you're familiar for essentially, do you know much about?
No.
It's like in 1946, they built it after World War II. They're like, we can never have another world war. We need to set up military bases around the world. We're going to use the American military as the forefront. We're going to use the American economy. And it's like a global, military industrial complex, basically.
Yeah.
So now they called it the New World Order. George Bush Sr. was like, we're going to set up a new world order. And they're talking about improving this liberal world order. And it's basically there's this, or there's like the Chinese world order, which is BRICS, Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa. So it's like we're going to have one world order or another. I mean, we might be able to resist and have like a decentralized union, which is ideal in my opinion. But right now we have these competing world orders, and it's like, do we support the liberal one, or do we just allow?
Well,
Multipolar.
I wrote a book on a world order. Okay, it's called The Patriot Report: Unmasking the Conspiracy of Money and War. And there was this funny part in my book about the Bretton Woods Agreement, and how they were able to convince the United States to be the reserve currency for these nations, and that was pretty eye-opening, studying the Bretton Woods Agreement and Keynes and how they put this together, and then how that led into I would call hyperinflation of the dollar. I think that's 1971 that happens when Bretton Woods Agreement basically dissolves. But that when I looked at the Bretton Woods Agreement, like think that was 1944 Brentwood's agreement. Somebody got to look that up. Don't get me the line, but it lines up with what you said, like that whole world order around that same time period. So now when you say it, I'm like, maybe there's some connectedness there.
It's falling apart.
1944, yeah.
It was 44?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
When Epstein is mainstream, like the whole Epstein story, when Maxwell's being publicly sentenced, they won't reveal the client list. When the Georgia Guidestones are blown up, when they're shooting at farmers. Meanwhile, there's a food shortage coming. The narrative is collapsing.
I understand the hatred of the patriarchy that, like, oh, we've got these old Roman guys basically trying to own everyone through religion and through, whatever, God is a man, all this nonsense. But, like, it doesn't mean that just destroying it is the way to go, because there's much worse things out there as well. We got to keep that in mind. Yeah. Chinese communism is very dangerous. The CCP is very dangerous. The citizens are, like, on lockdown 24. They're like...
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast. And there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and we'll see you all there.